it up for Cobus the Viking!
I'm Cobus Visser, it's Cobus Visser. Some call me the Viking. It's all about having courage, creating freedom, and leaving a legacy.
I'm Cobus Visser for C, Viking. And as you notice, I look sort of like a Viking today. I used to be known as Superman until I realized I don't fit in my Superman suit anymore. And I'm more of a warrior energy. And my story sort of started a few years ago. And on this journey, I realized one thing that is important is one's values, right? And I based my whole life on values. Because the thing is, values attract similar people, similar clients, similar everything. And so if we don't know our values, if we don't know what we stand for, we fall for everything. I want to share with you my top 3 values that I want to live by. One is to being courageous, to have courage. Who here in this room has their own business, speaking business? Can I see some hands? It takes courage, right? It takes courage to take on the world and go and sell yourself as a speaker. It takes a lot of courage. So you have to have courage, you have to step out, you have to do the impossible. Because how many of you believe broken glass cuts? Right? Anyone here loves Merlot? Or maybe, there's a few that loves a Merlot. I don't think this was a Merlot, this was a Jägermeister. Glass even breaks. Because the thing is, Mahatma Gandhi said everything starts with a belief. It becomes our thoughts. As a man thinketh, so is he. Our thoughts then become our words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who love to use it will bear the fruit of it. Our words then lead to our actions then become our habits. And the most foundation of all of it is becomes our values. And before we know it, we've created our reality and our destiny. About a year ago, actually it's now more than a year ago, January last year it started, I created this new values to live by. And the thing is we don't realize is when we live by these values, we will get tested on these values. If we have a purpose in life, everyone in this room knows what their purpose is. So if you know what your purpose is, you're going to be tested. How badly do you want your purpose? How many of you here keeps on giving your best every day? Right? How many of you have heard people say they will do their best? Right? Please don't believe yourself or other people because you are lying. You're the biggest liar in this world, right? Why do I say that? Because when you say, I will do my best, it's easy to find an excuse when you don't get the results. It's because of this girlfriend that I had, or it's because of the economy, or we're just trying to justify why we don't have what we have. I was there. I started getting tested on my purpose and my values. And suddenly I was faltering. My freedom was taken away from me. You see, one of my values is freedom. This is why I do what I do, so that I can travel the world, so that I can be where I need to be. I know I'm a little bit late this evening. However, I need to tell you, I had the opportunity to inspire 25 people. Not to only walk on broken glass, but walking on fire. And I asked you in this moment, how many of you believe glass cuts? How many of you believe fire burns? And I like to challenge beliefs, because the thing is, if you can walk over broken glass and over on warm fire, if you can do that, we say you can do, who would love to guess? Can do anything. But I have this saying, when you say you do your best, is to change your words. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Because the thing is, if I say whatever it takes, I don't have any excuses. I can't blame anyone. And for me, it's important is to find out what drives you so that nothing can stop you, that you can make the impossible possible. But before I go on, I would love to just know a few of you Just a few, because there's no time to know every one of you. I would like to know, what is your top 3 animals? What is your top 3 animals? Top 3. You would love to share with me their top 3. Maybe think about the characteristics why you would love them as well. Okay. Okay, so first one is a jaguar, second one is a okay, second one. So whilst he's thinking about, who of you know what your top 3 animals is? Yes, Stephanie. Owl. Aardwolf. Who would love to share as well? Steve. Ooh, I can see that. One more. Yeah.
How about the killer whale?
Yeah.
Then a tiger and a black panther.
So this is a game, right? You've given me yourself everything I need to know about you. So thank you for that. Your first animal, so it's been proven, your first animal is the mask you put up to the world to say, look at me, this is who I am, right? It's a perception you are creating. Oh, I see some laughters. The second animal is actually how the world experiences you. Wise, loyal elephant, right? Strong. But the thing is, if you're on the weakness side, you can be the elephant that has been chained to a rope that I forgot how powerful they are. So where are you based? And I believe you are walking in your power. So yes. Oh, something I know a little bit more about. But the scary part is, and I can see it, is the third animal is who you really are. And I can see the buffalo never forgets. Yes, they are loyal. They are focused on family. It's important, but don't touch their family. Don't touch their friends. They will come and they will remember. No, they will remember. You will never forget. Am I right? So this is touching a little bit on it, right? Thank you for sharing a little bit about you. So my journey started is when more than a year ago, I used to stand on stages, and I was at that moment transforming my brand. And I remember one of my coaches, and you all know him very well, Mike, and Mike Hancock. Don't tell him I mentioned his name. And he saw me on stages, and he comes to me and he says, Cobus, if you ever want to talk on stages and speak about what you speak, you have to do something about yourself. At that time, I don't know if you remember, some of you remember how I looked. I used to look pregnant, about 8 months. The thing is, we can either have that just, yeah, but Mike, I don't have ankles, I don't have elbows, I can exercise. Now, for those who don't know, I was born as a hemophiliac. I have all of the excuses in this world. A hemophiliac means it's a bleeder, my blood doesn't clot. And because of all of the other years, I don't have normal joints anymore. Can't straighten my elbows. I can have all of the excuses. And I could accept these excuses, or I can change it and do whatever it takes. And he said to me, Cobus, but you say do whatever it takes. And so on these last few months, I went on a journey to lose, and I've lost now about 30 kilograms just since January. The first step in this process is to fall in love with yourself, to accept who you are. It's quite sexy, don't you think? But sometimes it's being in a place of vulnerability to say, if I can love myself for who I am and what I've been created, anything is possible. Nobody can come between me and me. So it starts with you. And I like the word me, because me can stand for manifesting excellence. So if you ever think about me, it's about manifesting my excellence. So as I say to you, my secret of 10x is a quote by Gandhi. I see there's one photo, but I will welcome to share the slides to the people, right? I created this journey of being a Viking and being tested. What is my values? Is to live with heart, to persevere, to take action, whatever it takes, live without regret. And I have all of this, but what does it mean? Ladies and gentlemen, a year ago, I wanted to give up on life. Most of you don't know that. With all my skills and everything, I made some wrong choices in my life. I allowed the wrong people in my life. got to a point where it just felt like nothing was working out. Everything I was touching was breaking, like the broken glass. I found myself in a hole. And the more I went deeper into this hole. I shouted for help. There was nobody coming to help me. I posted videos of 8 minutes. I need 8 minutes with friends. People watched my statuses. Nobody responded. Nobody reached out. Yeah, because it's Cobus. The guy that can walk on fire, can walk on broken glass. And yet here I was, broken, like the broken glass. And as I had one of my values up there, legacy, I was contemplating, if I had to die today, what am I leaving behind? In a few months, a friend of mine passed away, and I realized after a few months, everyone goes on with their life. Who's going to remember you? You just become a distant story. And then I had a friend of mine sitting there at the back, Jacques de Villiers, coming to me and say, why don't you write your story? Why don't you write your story? And then I went back and I realized my journey I've been on. That it started the moment I did something I never thought I would be able to do. I remembered on my vision board there was something called Kilimanjaro. And to give you an idea, I'm not a climber, it's not my passion, it's not everything. I was bound to a wheelchair, I couldn't walk. The doctor said, Cobus, you're gonna have both your ankles fused, both your elbows replaced, because that is your reality, that's your destiny. And I remember I had to change that. I had to focus. And as I started writing my story, I had all the excuses. I'm Afrikaans and I've spoken English since I've been twice. So you see, I have all of the excuses. I know I'm exaggerating, but we will archive it in the past because that is how I speak. And I had all the excuses, but I needed to leave a legacy. What is my story? If I die, that my kids will be inspired. And I started writing the story. And I remembered on the journey, not everyone's going to save you, but just a few people are going to be there for you. And at that time, Jacques came into my life again as one of those who needed to help me on my journey. Like when I climbed this place called Kissing Rock, Barranca Wall on the mountain, I was giving my life into two people. One in front of me to pull me up, one behind me to push me up, because I didn't have the strength to pull myself up. And I realized the power of surrounding yourself. That's why we're in the PSA, right? Surrounded by like-minded people that will push us to do whatever it takes to do. Because I remember the power of it, that one night when we were summiting Kilimanjaro, and we get to the point where we look at the highest sunrise in Africa. Through my pain, everything, I actually gave up. I was sitting there next to a friend of mine crying and like, this is where I can't go any further. I'm in pain. And the one thing he did, he said, Cobus, let's go down. You don't have to do this. And I remember looking at him and I said, well, it's okay. You go and climb this mountain. I'm okay. But meantime, he didn't know what was my purpose on that mountain. So my whole life, I've faced mental challenges, mental health. And that's why I can speak about being resilient and never giving up and pushing up. The moment you think you can't is actually the moment when you can. I went to climb actually that mountain just 2 years before that. There was a famous racing driver, a black racing driver that passed away on the mountain. And I thought, I'm going to climb this mountain to die, to give up on life. But God had a different thought about me. And before he left, he gave me a hug. And he says, Cobus, just remembered why you came to climb this mountain. And as he left, he gives me a hug and he leaves, and I have time to think about it. That the impossible is possible. And as I keep pushing forward, Now, as I take off my shocks, I'll show you the impossible. I kept pushing forward. The highest spot that I could achieve was a place called Stella Point, just below Uru. But I did it with my crutches, and my empowerment to you, inspiration tonight, is that no matter your challenges, no matter what you're facing, that if you push forward, if you write that one chapter, and the next, and and you have a great friend like Jog pushing you, waiting for you, always checking up on you, that you believe the impossible is possible. It's like this friend of mine from Scribante doing racing. He says to me, Cobus, I'm 52 years old, I race racing cars for a living. I said to him, let's go win the South African Championship. You guess what he told me? He said, Cobus, I'm too old, I'm racing against guys that are half my age. I said, well, all that you need is you need the right skill. You need to practice, right? It's all a process. 1 + 1 equals? So if I make the 2 big, does it still stay at 2? If I make it small, does it still stay at 2? So no matter what I look at, if I keep looking at the problem, I will never change it. I just need to change my process that I go through from 1 + 1 to 1 + 2. Does the result change? How amazing. And I didn't even focus on the end. So it's a process. So we went on and we upskill. It's the season, it goes, right? So he upskills, he gets glasses, he practices to be faster. He sends his videos into Lamborghini's Europe to see if he can make it faster. And we push his first, second, and third, going all through it. And as we get to the end of the last race, between him and the Lambo against 2 Ferraris. Any Ferrari fans in this room? As they're racing the Ferrari. It's the last lap, he's placed 3rd. Whoever wins of the 3 cars wins the championship. And they go. And ladies and gentlemen, when you do whatever it takes, you apply all your skills, you upskill yourself, you learn all of the tools. This is where I'm going to challenge you. This is where you walk by faith. Because this is where miracles happen. On the last lap, both Ferraris runs out of petrol. Because he remembers do whatever it takes. Every time he looked up. Whatever it takes is so powerful. Anyone know and loves rugby in this room? So I come to this team, the Southern Kings. They are placed as the rejects in the Super Rugby in 2017. And as they are there, they say, Cobus, the most we can win is probably 2 games. We just won a team build, and some of our players last season, there was this one amazing player. His name is Makozolo Mampimpi. And as Makozolo Mampimpi speaks to me, he says, Cobus, this is probably going to be my last 2 seasons. Because nobody wants me. We are the rejects of all their sports players. However, they adopted the whatever it takes. And who knows where Makozolo Mampimpi is? He's the 4th highest try scorer ever for South Africa. So, will you definitely brush him? So the main thing about this is that if you go Google now, I forgot to put it on the slide, Mampimpi plays with one of my armbands every day that says, whatever it takes. That's right. Whatever it takes, it's not just a phrase. Whatever it takes means how badly do you want to create your reality? She already has the day. It's like, universe is talking, turn right. a book that became a journey to leave a legacy for my kids. Became a journey of walking through fire, not just literally fire, but in life's fires. Like in life, it's all about, when I remember being on the mountain, it's pitch black as we walk up. I started like at 8 o'clock in the evening, early. So I was one of the first going up because I was on my crutches, very slow. And as we got up, around 2 o'clock, minus 17 degrees Celsius, I just was complaining to the guide. I was like shouting and I can't, and I'm crying. And the guide stops me and he says, Cobus, where are you going? You're going to the top, right? Keep focusing on that. I'm like, I can't see the top. He says, well, you have a headlamp on, right? I say, yes. He says, look down. I look down. He says, can you see your next step? Wow, I can see my next step. It's so powerful that I realize all that I have to give is my next step. And I realize in this journey of the last year that sometimes we get so lost in the North Star, the top of the mountain, the purpose and where we need to go, that we overwhelm ourselves so much with it. And the thing is, we compare ourselves. I was in that place. I compared myself to all of the speakers and the industry and where I am and everyone I know. And I was like, I'm not good enough. And I had this imposter syndrome. And can I really do that? And then I reminded myself, just look down and give your next step. Do whatever it takes. Walking through fire. Now, I see someone who congratulated me. One of my biggest dreams was to be able to be honored to say something. Never got to know how to do it. And I want to give you hope that no matter where you are today, if you keep pushing forward and you keep applying and you keep doing what you're doing. I remember one of my coaches, his name was Robin Pullen. He was one of the presidents of the PSA. When I started, I said, how do I do it, Robin? He says, Cobus, before you start, go out and just get 100 gigs. Not even if it's for free. Just go speak in front of 100 groups. I took that advice, and here I'm standing in front of you today. And I want to just, with my peers, celebrate that I will be awarded my CSP in a week or two. So. And I won't be able to do it if it was not with the support of everyone. So through this, as I have a minute or two, I want to ask, is there any volunteer? No, it's your birthday. We need someone new. No, you are new. Okay. What, Kerry? Oh. And Tiffany, you're also up for it. Come, Tiffany. You are up for it? Are you up for it? So take off your shoes. As you all notice, sometimes we have to just follow in the people's footsteps that have done it before.
Gary, you didn't sign an indemnity this time.
You automatically by default.
So I need two people. I need one to be a support, to come and walk next to her to support. You can come stand. Then I want one more people that will serve her. Oh, there's one. Are you going to? Oh, no. One more person too, will you? If you can just take will you take photos? Just the brush. So when she's, before she climbs up, you just swipe it off down for her. Yeah. So the secret is, when you stand up here, do it for a purpose. Do it for a reason. So that you can anchor this moment. If you can do this, you can do?
Anything.
Anything. So keep focusing ahead of you.
Mustn't I look down?
No down. You put your hand out like that. So this, what Kerry is, I want to teach you. Ladies and gentlemen, what helped me, it's okay to put out your hand and ask for help. Because when you walk this broken glass, you might feel a little bit of losing your momentum or your balance. It's okay to ask for help.
I'm holding you very tightly.
You keep
I mustn't look down.
Keep looking forward, yeah. One step at a time, slowly. One step at a time. When you're comfortable, you step. Just focus on why you're doing this. Okay. One small step with your left foot. Bring it closer to it. Okay, and then you're going to lift the right foot up. Will you come closer? Okay. Will you come closer just to wipe it down? Just wipe it down. There's some glass on it. Wait, there's still a piece. Okay.
Got it.
Got it? Yeah, you can step off. And then. Wait. Okay, so one step at a time. Slow. Slow. Okay. Just put your put your right foot backwards. Okay, can you just come closest to me? Just check there's no glass. Okay, step off. All right. That's it. Okay, focus on where you're going. Okay, slow, one step. Okay, lift your right foot backwards. You can touch on it. Okay, step there. The glass walk will still be here afterwards if anyone wants to walk. But my lesson is never look down on the ones that's making your journey easily, that's wiping your feet. Always be appreciative of the ones coming in that is there to make your life easier. But it's also okay, as you grow in your speaking journey, it's okay to ask for help and reach out, because people are not going to reach out. Reach out and ask for help. And remember, when you walk over broken glass, it's not the big pieces. It's not I need to do this big thing. One thing that I learned on my journey is those small things that can hurt. If you stop doing certain small habits in your life, that is actually what is hurting you. So my message to you tonight, whatever it takes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.